Champions are not born, they are forged, tempered and shaped by the fires of competition. Each year, the nation's best amateur racers enter the flames of the Sports Car Club of America Runoffs, a single, winner-take-all event. This year, the Runoffs returns to Road America, one of the world's greatest and most challenging tracks. Over 500 drivers will take the green at the 48th annual Runoffs. Only 28 will emerge as national champions. The SCCA Runoffs, next on Speedcast TV.
And welcome to the 48th annual SCCA National Championship Runoffs at Road America. Touring 3 has 7 division champions among the competitors here. So that gives you the idea of, we're talking drivers from all over North America, converging on Road America. And this is a week-long process. The SCCA National Championship Runoff events are over 3 days, 8 events per day, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday setting. But qualification sessions begin as early as Monday. They're somewhat elective, but your best time over the course of those days, up till Thursday, through Thursday, determine where you start on your grid. So some days, as you mentioned, there was rain on day 2. Not a lot of guys went out in their session. So the neat thing about this is we've got a couple of things to chat about, and we have another member to introduce to you at our broadcast team. Is John Bizignano on pit road for the 16th straight time at the Runoffs. And Biz, thanks and welcome back, and hope you're staying dry on pit road.
Well, we're doing our best down here. I've only blinded my cameraman 3 times with this huge umbrella. Thank you, Eric Brill. Anyway, let's look off here to the east a little bit. It's a little bit brighter over towards Sheboygan. And if we look down the track this way, you can see the rain is a bit heavier. So right now, the winds are very calm. You can't see a flag moving. So right now, we're under some very light rain, which is very unsettling, especially if it's the first run in the morning, because the track is going to be very slick. Now, most of the competitors up here, they are still on the slick race tire. Of course, this is what gives the greatest heat, the most grip, but it also allows for no managing of the water underneath that tire whatsoever. Hydroplaning could be a problem. They're hoping that they're going to have a dry racing line. But the 4th place qualifier, and someone who knows his way very well around Road Atlanta, Rob has gone with a intermediate rain tire. Of course, this one is a little bit grooved. This will allow for some management of all that water underneath the tire. Now, if it still keeps raining, he will have one heck of an advantage both down the straightaways and actually through every single corner here at Road Atlantic. Some of those are, Road America. Some of those corners are very high speed, and the last thing you want is any aquaplaning. Dorsey, I gotta ask you, it's about 45 degrees down here. The track has been sitting all night long. It has that very slippery surface right now. This is not the way you want to start your runoffs.
Boy, Bills, you got that right. Yeah, this is the slipperiest condition you can possibly have. The oil now has come to the top of that sheen you can see on the racetrack. Now remember, all these race cars race on the polished side of the racetrack. Otherwise, when they go to these apexes and so forth, those areas get the most wear, so these racetrack owners seal those with a sealer. That sealer then makes it even more slippery. So if you see some very diverse lines this morning, guys driving around the outsides of corners, it's not that they're missing their apex. They're doing it intentionally to get away from the polished surface of the inside of those corners. So we're going to see a really skating rink here, and it's going to play to the hands of front-wheel drive cars. It's going to play to the hands of lower horsepower cars. If you look at our first 3 cars on the grid, you know, you've got a Chevy Cobalt. Well, that's a turbocharged car, so it's going to be a little bit hard to manage. The next car in line is a Nissan 350Z rear-wheel drive. That's going to be hard to manage. Volkswagen GTI is the 3rd up. That's going to be a pretty favorable condition for him. And when I look at his times, he's had his fastest time in the first qualifying session, and that one was wet.
And Rob Hines is the driver that Biz was pointing out on the grid, starting 4th in the number 44 Nissan 350Z. Experience will come into play. Rob actually won a gold medal in 1999 in T2. Here in T3, it's a fairly new class, but you have guys with that experience. I'm sure they've had to drive in the wet in the past.
Yeah, they will. You know, like Biz was saying a minute ago, it's lightening up outside. It doesn't look like this rain's going to stay around right away, so we could see a drying condition. If we see drying conditions, then those intermediate tires might become too soft of a compound, and we could get into a blistering situation or a chunking situation. That's the reason that treads in these tires, they're called tread sipes, they're just there to dissipate water, to get it out from underneath the tire. However, if there isn't water underneath the tire, they get hot real quick because they squirm around. Makes you feel like you got 4 flat tires.
And that's when the drivers will seek the water on the racetrack.
Yeah, they'll be looking for puddles to get those tires cooled down in. In this kind of a race, 40-minute race or a 13-lap race, you don't have time to come in and change tires. That's the net result of it all.
Well, the SCCA National Championship runoffs will about to begin for the T3 category. Touring 3, we see the cars now being positioned and now in motion on the pit road, moving out on the racetrack.
Looks really dark behind there. If you look down there at turn 14, looking down the straightaway, it looks a lot worse weather-wise there than it does down to the turn 1 end. So
the weather traditionally in Wisconsin comes from the west and goes east. This weather is actually circling over Lake Michigan, coming from the east to the west, which is we're not far from Lake Michigan.
Another nuance of this racetrack, 4 miles in length. It can, in fact, be raining down there in turn 14 and be dry as a bell in turn 1.
Could be, exactly. Or it could be raining in turn 5, causing puddles, and dry as a bone in the carousel.
You got to really watch this racetrack when you're driving in these conditions.
We see shadows. That's a good sign. Shadows of the cars with the intermittent sunlight.
Oh, but you also see spray, which means there is good standing water there. The guys on slicks, this is going to be not fun at all.
And this elevation is obvious here. It's a great shot coming into turn 3 down this hill. There's going to be a little bit of use, I think, in the litter down here at the bottom.
Yeah, you might be right about that. Here's the deal with hills and rain. The bottom of the hill is going to have a puddle. It all runs downhill. So when you run these courses that have big elevation change, that is a good point right there. Turn 3, bottom of that, there's going to be a river. Down here in turn 5, there's going to be another river. So every time you got a big elevation, you have to watch those standing water puddles because it's all going to accumulate down there. Even with good drainage, but this racetrack does have good drainage.
And Road America's been around since 1955. This race circuit was built in 54. It's been an evolution, and improvements continue. I don't think because it's a natural terrain course, you're going to have that situation. It's not going to be a completely protected or walled-in facility as you may see on a traditional American oval.
Now, this is the kind of a situation, like I say, these are polished corners. They've got sealer on the apex of the corners. What you need to do now as a driver is seek out any place on that racetrack you can get grip. It doesn't matter what line you're on anymore as far as, the most efficient way through the corner, because right now it's where is there grip and where is there no grip.
Looks like no grip right here for the car getting ready down going into turn number 5. While they're getting ready, let's get you tuned in on the provisional grid for the Touring 3 category. Here at Road America, they're about to begin our first session of Day 2 of the 40th Annual SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
Boy, it looks slippery there. I can tell you that much.
That's off camber as well, Dorsey. You mentioned that a couple of times already, and well, that's an interesting position to be in because if they do that wide exit, there actually is some moisture out there that they may be able to use if it does begin to dry during this 40-minute or 13-lap event. Starting on the pole is Kevin Fandozzi in the number 34 machine. It's the inside-driven Carbotech Hoosier Chevrolet Cobalt SS, new track record. Last year's silver medalist will lead us to the green flag. Brian Kleeman is starting outside run number 1 from Baltimore. This is his 5th runoffs opportunity. ICS Learning Group, GWW Motorsports Nissan 350Z. Row 2 is number 24, Richard Fisher of Glencoe, Illinois. He won the June sprints. He's the Central Division champion, drives the Audubon Volkswagen GT1. Starting 4th at number 44, Rob Hines out of Arlington, Virginia, the 1999 gold medalist in T2. His Nissan is sponsored by Goodyear, Carbotech, and Redline. Starting 5th, the number 07 of Chad Gilsinger from Marysville, Ohio, defending champion of this event. He's going to start back at the 5th position in the BFG Alpine Stars H&R Honda S2000. Starting 6th is Sage Marie, the Huntington Beach, California driver, the Honda Racing HPD BF Goodrich. He finished 3rd here last year. Sage Marie again starting in the 6th position, won bronze a year ago in the number 4. Starting 7th, the number 19 of Mike Kramer of Lewisburg, Tennessee, Southeast Division, 2nd in points this season. The BF Goodrich Carbotech Vet Sports Red Saturn Ion Redline sponsored machine. Starting 9th, the number 15 of Frank Levinson of Coultering, Ohio. National points, he finished 5th this season. In last year, he finished 8th overall in the runoffs in his class. Starting 9th, the number 08 of Jeremy Lucas out of Delaware, Ohio. Great Lakes Division champion in the BF Goodrich Honda Racing Line Honda S2000. Starting 10th, the number 87 of Bill Steinhoff of Plantation, Florida. 5 wins on his way to Southeast Division Championship in his Nissan 350Z here in 2011. Starting 11th, the number 26 of Chris Puskar in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Ohio driver. 5th runoff opportunity in Old Dominion, Metal Hoosier, Redline, Carbotech, Honda S2000. Starting 12th, the number 01 of Tom Wickersham, San Ramon, California, San Francisco region. I got my letters mixed up here. Competition Auto Works. Tom Wilkersham, starting in 12th, has a chance at the Super Sweep in T3. We'll tell you more about that as the race goes on in this Honda S2000. Starting 13th, the number 74 of Jim Lighthouser, Westminster, Colorado. He is a Rocky Mountain Division champion, 6 wins in 6 races this year. Starting 14th, the number 37 of Shane Daggert, Iowa City, Iowa. Second in the June Sprints, second in the Central Division in his Ford Mustang. And our final row, row 8, on the inside, the number 30 of Lynn Griffiths, out of Menlo Park, California, in his 15th runoff opportunity, AutoWorks Mazda Offline Racing Mazda RX-8. And starting at the tail, 67 years young, Michael Sullivan, the number 14 out of Oakland, California. He finished 12th here last year, 10th in 2009, so very competitive, even at his young age of 67. Great field of cars here in T3, coming up the hill to get the green flag, Dorsey.
Pace cars in. These guys are going to do a nice slow start. 2 things you got to worry about now: the grip level when you get to turn 1, and visibility. Visibility is the key thing in the rain. If you can't see, you truly have a big problem. Oh, popping out early. Get back in line.
Got to go 2 by 2 at least to the start line. Getting anxious here.
Yeah, that's not a clean start, but they get the green.
And up the inside goes an S2000.
Watch for that Volkswagen GTI to come forward with front-wheel drive. We'll see what happens down here. These guys don't know how much grip's there. We don't either.
Boy, what a dramatic change here. We got sunlight, we've got wet racetrack, we've got wipers going, we've got side-by-side action. There's Rob Hines in the 44. He'll stay fourth as he started that position, and way wide goes the GTI.
Wow, GTI didn't get any grip. I wouldn't have expected that. Way out wide. Look at that spray now. You can't see if you're past third position.
Fandozzi will lead them down into turn 1 for the first time.
These little Chevy Cobalt SSs are really nice cars. Have won many pro championships in those cars. We got car off. Car spinning right in the middle of the racetrack. Gathers it up, does a 360, no harm.
And Lynn Griffiths going off grid late. That might be the safest move out there because you're not amongst the spray. You're not amongst the guys spinning.
Now we'll see who gets creative with line. See where the grip is. This is good. Look around the outside. He's not diving for the apex. He's running this outside. Now he goes down the inside, gets a little bit of a slide out to the rumple strips.
Tiptoeing through turn 5 for the first time.
I've run here in the rain many times. I can tell you the rim shot, if you want to call it that, around the outside of the racetrack is the way to go. Stay off that polished inside.
And Mike Kramer started 7th in the number 19 machine. He's now challenging for the lead heading into the carousel on the opening lap.
So we can assume he's good in the rain, right?
Now look at this. The track may be already starting to dry here. We'll see how the spray dissipates throughout the course of this 13-lap event. A big difference for the leader and whoever's behind him. It's a lot different scenery.
Surprisingly, the rain doesn't hinder your ability to go fast in the straightaways. You can go just as fast down the straight as you do in the dry. You just have to give up the brake zones a little bit. And, of course, you see all these guys running around the outside, turn 8 there. And here's the carousel, and the right way around is around the very outside edge again. These guys right now on the inside are feeling it out for the first time.
Mike Kramer leading the 44 of Rob Hines through the carousel. That's the battle for second now. As you see beautiful images here on SpeedcastTV.com, thanks to Volkswagen, as our coverage today is brought to you in HD by Volkswagen of the 48th Annual SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
Not surprising, Kevin Fandozzi is kind of checking out on the field. Why? He's got no one in front of him. He's got no spray. He's got the best seat in the house visibility-wise.
And back here among the tall trees that are starting to turn color here at Road America, going through Canada Corner, is going to be a new challenge because it gets clear again. Once the Billy Mitchell bend, it kind of opens back up again for these drivers.
And it's going to start drying out here because it's not raining. At least it's not right where we're at on the front straightaway. The sun is out, and it's completely dry here. So we'll start seeing if we get a dry line developing.
I was doing a 10 count. I don't think we had any issues going through the kink, which is a good thing here on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's a real good thing.
Didn't see any movement there. So that's a good thing as the number 34, our pole sitter, Kevin Fandozzi, leads them up the hill for the first time.
Cobalt SS is a front-wheel drive car, so it's got superior traction, no question. It has a turbocharger, which makes it a little bit more difficult to manage horsepower. Obviously, Kevin's not having a problem with that.
Kevin went winless this year, but again, as we mentioned, the qualifications to get to the runoffs, get the invitation to qualify. He has had 4 podium finishes in 5 events in his Northeast Division out of St. Joseph, Michigan. So he went to the Northeast Division to qualify for the SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
Rob Hines, Mike Kramer, second and third place, having a good tussle of their own. Still plenty wet. You can start to experiment around, try to find different places on the racetrack where you can get grip if you're having trouble on the present line that you've been running. You just start moving around until you find it.
Rob Hines has taken back second position from the fast advancing Mark Kramer. That's Hines in the 350Z. Now coming out of turn number 3, coming into frame there is the driver that made the biggest move from 7th to 2nd in the opening circuit in the wet. That's the 19 of Mike Kramer, the 2004, the only Saturn Ion in the field. Southeast Division second place in the standings this year, 5th in national points for Kramer, so certainly getting it done on the national level.
Yeah, he's our biggest mover for sure in position-wise. Everybody else is kind of locked in kind of where they qualify, but Kramer comes from 7th up to 3rd right away. Pretty amazing run so far.
Speeds will increase as the drivers get braver. Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah, they'll feel the grip coming in, and you'll start to see a drying line, but still spray off the rear tire. You can see all these cars really moving a lot of water.
And with their gap, it may be a voluntary gap here as they finally have now settled someone into a position trying to find the right line.
Well, visibility, again, that's the most key thing. If you're up underneath somebody, you just can't see where you're going. It's probably is smarter to get back, leave yourself some room, and wait for this track to dry some. It will.
Kevin Fandozzi, a silver medalist a year ago. Richard Fisher actually is the defending race winner.
Another thing you can do, these cars don't have an adjustable brake bias, but if you could, you would have softened up the suspension some, and you would have gone with more rear brake than front brake normally with this rain condition. But these guys don't have the flexibility in T3 to be able to make these big changes like other classes do.
Mentioned Richard Fisher a moment ago. He was actually driving the Volkswagen GTI that went off in turn 1. He dropped from 3rd to 10th in the opening circuit. Now he's trying to find his way back through.
Look at this. 2 guys running the rim shot around the outside. The inner line, which is normally preferred line, is slower. And watch, you'll both go by the red car here. That outside groove around the outside, that's where all the clag is. That's where all the rocks and debris are usually. But guess what? In the rain, that gives you grip.
Here they go down through the backside. There we go.
Spin at the kink.
Richard Fisher must have heard us talking about.
He needs to get out of there. Thankfully, he does. That's not you talk about a scary place to have a spin. Quite fast through there normally.
June Sprints champion, a whole lot of momentum going in for the Central Division.
Another leader. Car off, and this one's going to find the barrier.
Brian Kleeman, who started in the 2nd position.
Keeps finding the barrier.
He was back in 9th before he tap danced the front bumper along the Armco.
Here's the deal. You get off in that grass now, there's no stopping. It's once you get those front tires on that grass surface, it's just like we got trouble with the suspension on this car now.
Left rear?
Yeah, it could have hurt something along there.
Great shot of the Lester Buildings building inside turn 14. Another one of the improvements for the racers that come here to the SCCA National Championship runoffs. Up the hill they come. That is the number 19 machine of Mike Kramer. Great head of steam here heading into turn number 1. Hines holds position on the inside in that silver 44.
And you see both of them now trying to find grip, trying to move around and get an advantage on the other car. Good four-wheel slide there for the 4th place car.
Actually, that was Hines ahead of him here. This is a car that Chris Puskar actually has moved in position, number 26 machine. He's actually moved into 3rd ahead of Kramer.
Running around the outside of that patch of that whatever you call it, sealant that they put down on the apexes. If you just run just to the outside of that, you'll find grip.
Puskar in the Honda S2000. Carbotech. You hear about Carbotech brakes? That's his business. That's his family business, the Puskar family. So how big of a brake do you want to put when it's wet? It's a matter of how you want to stop and how you as you mentioned, rear brake is important right now with the wet conditions.
And the reason for that is that normally when you brake hard on a car, the majority of the weight of the cars, we can see it past the inside here.
Ooh,
that's going to
look at
work
that.
out nice.
That's the battle for the 3rd position. We just talked about it, and here's a little tale to say see you later. Puskar dropping back to 4th now with the advancement of Kramer once again.
In the dry, when you brake hard, a lot of weight of the car shifts to the front. But if you can't brake hard, not that much weight shifts to the front, so you can run with more rear brake, or you won't be locking the fronts up as easily as you would. But these guys don't have adjustable bias inside there, so they are stuck with what they've got. Now you got to wonder if they made any adjustments, knowing that it was going to be slick at the beginning.
Drag race here into turn 8 before the carousel, and it goes back to Puskar with the advantage.
Honda 2000 in the lead there. Here we go into the carousel. Again, they'll try to run the outside around the corner. See that it's around the outside. It's got where the grip is, and you see a good job of it right there.
Got a correction. Pushkar is now pulling away in that number 26 Honda S2000. What a great run through the carousel. Right, it looked like he was almost on the cushion of a dirt track.
Yeah, it's exactly what you do. You run around the outside with your right front tire right at the outside of that seam of sealant, and you'll find grip there. This is
now it appears he's putting more pedal to it here.
Yeah, this is where we had
kink.
Trouble before with the kink and this straightaway going down to Canada Corner. Still pretty slippery.
Well, you mentioned clag, and those drivers are finding places on the track that not been running. We see on that fixed-mounted camera there that there's debris flying as the cars go past.
And that debris actually does over the water. It gives you something to grip onto. It's a little Honda S2000 again.
Chad Gilsinger, the 2010 winner of a gold medal here at the SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
That's a rear drive when he's wagging the tail there. You can see coming out of Canada corner, losing grip temporarily.
2008 Honda S2000 for Gilsinger, that yellow and black 07.
Surprisingly, still a lot of water out there. I mean, we haven't had any more sprinkling going on.
Gilsinger, the defending race winner here, the gold medalist a year ago, challenging his way up the front stretch here. Lap number 4 in contest here. Gilsinger completing his third circuit in 5th position. Now he is in 5th, heading up the front stretch here at Road America. 14 turns, 4-mile course, the home for the 3rd straight year of the SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
Here, Rob Hines is the fastest car on the racetrack right now, just set the fastest race lap, and that's going to keep going that way because things are drying out.
Well, his fastest lap was a 3:03.46, and qualifying, just to give you an indication of comparatives, 2:34.2.
Yeah, 30 seconds a lap off. So, but that's going to start dialing in now, because now you're starting to see as they come down here into break 5, they're leaving dry marks behind these tires, so they're dissipating the water. It's pushing it off the racetrack. Kevin Fandozzi doing a great job. I tell you, he hasn't wiggled one bit.
And we'll keep an eye on the gap here. Hines, fastest lap. He's now 4.8 seconds behind this man in the yellow number 34 machine. That is our race leader. Kevin Fandozzi out of St. Joseph, Michigan, finished 18th in national points. But again, he's the silver medalist a year ago, so getting things dialed in here at Road America. The runoffs have been held at Road Atlanta, Mid-Ohio, Heartland Park, Topeka, now for the 3rd year at Road America. Fandozzi, his first opportunity was last year, ended up with a silver medal.
Obviously, you see right there, great line right around the outside of that patch. Look at that patch, that black mark in the middle right there. You can tell that's slippery. That car kind of going around the outside of it, too.
Uh-oh,
trouble
damage
with this car.
That is Gilsinger, the defending gold medalist. A different yellow car. That's the 15 machine of Frank Levinson. Sorry, that looks similar. They're both Honda S2000s. Out of Dayton, Ohio, Levinson with damage.
Looks like he's been out for the racetrack into a barrier somewhere. He's torn the front bumper fascia off that Honda.
Back to 14th. He will receive the black flag for the dangling participles on the front end of his number 15 Honda. So he'll be forced pit side from 15th. He finished 10th here a year ago.
Now, still plenty of water standing out there. You can see that in the spray. Shows you the same thing. Look at how these guys do now. Good rim shot, just like on dirt, like you're talking about. Get out there on the outside edge and just ride the cushion.
Jim Lighthouser in the 74 machine is following Bill Steinhoff. Steinhoff in the 87. That's a 2008 Nissan 350Z leading a 2008 BMW Z4 Coupe.
Good speed shot here down the back straightaway, headed down toward the brake zone of Canada corner, which they're approaching right about here.
Well, that really is wet yet.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely wet. And you see how shiny the inside is versus the outside? So you know for sure that inside is going to be the slippery part of the racetrack. The problem is when they transfer out to get power down, that's where the race cars normally go to, and you get wheel spin coming off there, particularly rear-wheel drive.
Sunny in parts, certainly dark and overcast in other parts of this 4-mile course. Beautiful natural terrain of road course in Road America at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Just an hour north of Milwaukee is where the 48th Annual SCCA National Championship Runoffs are taking place. This is Touring 3. You're watching coverage on SpeedcastTV.com. Make sure you come right back and join us after this short commercial break.
This portion of the 48th Annual SCCA National Championship Runoffs is being brought to you by Mazda, Zoom Zoom, by Volkswagen, Das Auto, by Blackmagic Car Care Products, and by Gum Out, cleaning since 1945.
What do you drive? Is it inspiring? Was it built by a behemoth car maker? Or insightful craftsmen obsessing over the details, building better cars for a discerning few? Are you one of the few who care about what you drive and how it drives? We're with you because we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
Gum Out Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner helps restore lost horsepower and fuel economy. Just pour an entire bottle of Gum Out Regain into your tank before your next fill-up. Powerful cleaning additives attach themselves to fuel system carbon deposits and safely and effectively lift them away. That way, deposits burn up, then pass through the exhaust. Gumout Regain additives even leave a protective barrier to help keep new deposits from forming for up to 3,000 miles. Get a bottle of Gumout Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner today for reduced engine hesitation, surging and knocking, as well as restored fuel economy and lost horsepower, all within one fill-up.
Okay, it's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You treat the freeway on-ramp like your own personal racetrack, and you love the smell of burning rubber. Well, good news, Speed Junkie. The Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and 2,000 events across the country, the SCCA has all the wheel-spinning, engine-revving excitement you can handle. Want to dance on the edge of control? In SCCA Solo, you'll learn the blacktop two-step with an army of cones trying to trip you up. If slinging mud is your thing, check out SCCA Rallycross, where power slides and rooster tails are the name of the game. And if wheel-to-wheel competition is what you crave, SCCA Club Racing lets you chase the checkered flag on America's toughest racetracks. Join the Sports Car Club of America today and feed your obsession.
Road trip, buddy. Let's put some music on.
Welcome to Learning Spanish in the Car.
You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, this is good.
Vámonos.
Vámonos.
Gracias.
Gracias.
13 horas en el carro sin parar y no traes música. Mira, entra y cómprame unas papitas.
Get up to 795 miles per tank in the all-new Volkswagen Passat TDI Clean Diesel.
This is the best of the best, the Olympics of amateur road racing, and right now the best in Touring 3 has been our pole sitter who has yet to be headed and is extending his lead now. Kevin Fandozzi has a 6.7 second advantage over Rob Hines here as we're working lap 6 of 13.
Got the fastest race lap presently, and that'll continue to go that way because the track's starting to dry out some. But Kevin Fandozzi has put on a driving clinic as far as racing in the rain goes. He's been very, very smooth with that Cobalt. He's running the right part of the line. He knows, obviously, he's been in the rain before, knows this racetrack. Look at him, just right to the outside of that slippery little area.
Rumbles help you a little bit, I would imagine, because the water doesn't stand on top of a ridge.
Yep, they don't hurt you. I've actually driven off the course before to get a traction in some places. It's so bad.
Why would that not surprise me, Dorsey?
You know, run the outside with your right side tires in the grass or the dirt, and you're actually getting more grip than on the racetrack. That's how slippery that can be.
Seek speed where you can find it. Absolutely. That's certainly a trademark of all the great racers. And this is a great drive by Kevin Fandozzi. We mentioned he is in a very good position here. As this is a contest, this is Kramer again, I believe, running with Hines.
These two have been going after it pretty hard.
That's Pushkar. Pushkar in the 26th machine looking for second on Rob Hines. Pushkar moved past and into contention. Kramer dropped back to 5th now. And Pushkar is looking for the silver medal. He had the bronze, but he doesn't think that's enough as Pushkar now really starts to push the pedal through the carousel.
Nice rim shot just to the outside of that sealed surface where it's so slippery. These guys have all got that figured out now.
Pushkar, by 2 seconds, has just recorded the fastest lap, and he's not slowing down now.
Yeah, he's at a 3-minute flat right now, so it's 2 seconds faster than any other car on the track. Has figured it. Like I say, he's probably found a way around the line on the racetrack that he can find some grip for his car.
There may be multiple loops here in the racetrack. We are keeping one single loop for our scoring data, so as we come past the start finish, we'll give you the gap between our race leader Kevin Fandozzi and what appears to be a shrinking advantage on now Chris Pushkar leading Rob Hines here. Hines in that 44 is now back to 3rd.
Yep, again, the configurations of the cars play a lot into how fast they can go right now. This Cobalt that's winning, of course, is front-wheel drive. That would be the preferred.
Here he comes.
Good outside pass.
On a lap car, but that's Pushkar really, really closing the gap here.
Well, he really is closing the gap, and I think Kevin Fandozzi's going to have to be looking in the rearview mirror in a minute because he's getting run down from behind. 3:02.40 for Kevin Fandozzi that last lap. Pushkar at a 3-minute flat, so 2 seconds a lap. That's what we saw.
This time past the line, it's a 5.1 second advantage. Pushkar has now broken the 3-minute barrier, 2 minutes 59 flat. For Pushkar, a second and a half eaten up on that lap.
Made up a second and a half in that one lap, made up 2 seconds on the lap before that, so it's coming.
Pushkar started back in 11th. This is his 5th national championship runoffs.
About halfway through this race right now. Plenty of time left. No mistakes made.
certainly a driver that's thankful for this opportunity to run in the wet, because his best finish actually happened in Showroom Stock B back in 2004 at Mid-Ohio. So Pushkar, in his opportunities, has yet to score a medal and is certainly pushing the pedal here.
Now, as it gets drier, the front-wheel drive loses its advantage to the rear-wheel drive, because the rear-wheel drive, once it dries enough that it can start getting power down off these corners, it's going to pick up some speed. And I think that's what we're seeing right now.
Showing you this wonderful display of spray and driving here. The track continues to drive, but Pushkar is showing Rob Hines how to get a bit quicker around this racetrack. As he closed the gap, Hines is not really laid back at all. He's pushing it as hard as Pushkar is now up the hill into turn 6.
Yeah, Chris Pushkar just experimented by going toward the apex a little bit more than he had been doing to see if it's dried up enough that he gets grip there. You know, you stay on this rain line while it's really, really wet, but you start moving back toward the inside as soon as you can.
Exit at the carousel appears to be drying a little bit. The sunshine may be fooling us slightly. But indeed, Pushkar, a little bit of a wiggle there under braking. Coming out down to turn 8, now into the carousel.
Yeah, now he's using a dry line. He's actually moving toward the apexes of these corners. We'll watch what he does here in the carousel. I'm sure he'll just rim shot this.
And thanks to the HD cameras, you actually can see some drying in the racing line now heading into the carousel.
You'll be looking for that drying too. Once you see a little bit of a place where somebody's been before you where it's dry, you can start putting your wheels right in that same groove.
We continue on working lap 7 of 13 in the Touring 3 category. Chris Pushkar runs second.
2:59 flat that lap. That's our fastest race lap, and that is the fastest car on the track. And he's catching Kevin Fandozzi that time 3 seconds.
We'll see what Fandozzi does this time, as we've been focusing on Pushkar and his efforts to find traction around this 4-mile course. Again, there was a little of a mist this morning. It turned into a steady rain, and now as this race continues on, the track is starting to dry. The sun is peeking through at certain points, and Rob Hines still a bit slick through Canada corner there.
Right now, Chris Pushkar's car is working really well, and he's figured out a good way around this racetrack to get grip. He's running down Kevin Fandozzi at over 2 seconds a lap.
Whoa, there he spun. Top of the hill.
Oh, that's a bad place to spin. That's Mitchell Bend up there. See if he got any contact with anything.
He got it righted, but he lost second spot to Hines. Just at the top of our camera view, we saw the spinning silver machine. That was Chris Pushkar getting eager, getting anxious.
Yeah, there he is right there. He's recovered, so he's not done yet. He's running really hard. I mean, you can't run a guy down 2 and 3 seconds a lap without really driving hard. Now he's got to just kind of gather it back up, take a deep breath, and go back to work.
So Fandozzi now leads Rob Hines, who's scooted past the spinning Chris Pushkar. Pushkar, no damage really, but now has lost all that momentum built up. To 9.6 seconds is the gap between Fandozzi and Pushkar now. Rob Hines 6.8 seconds back of Fandozzi in second between them.
Well, Fandozzi's he can wipe the sweat off his brow for a minute anyway. No more pressure, not for a little while. And we're at lap 7, so
as our friend Greg Creamer says, he got a little greedy there. He wanted more.
Yeah, well, he was trying to run down a big deficit and was doing so. Now it's like start over and do it again.
We'll see if he has enough time left. We're working lap number 8 of 13. Again, it's a 40-minute timed event or 13 circuits around this 4-mile course. And Fandozzi has pulled out to a lead and kept it throughout this event thus far. Again, he started on the front row next to Brian Kleeman, but unfortunately Kleeman and the third-place starter, Richard Fisher, have had all sorts of issues here in the rain. They're well down the order. And unfortunately for those guys, looking very strong all week long, and it's gone awry here in the wet.
Everybody's starting to trying to move back toward the apex of these corners, trying to experiment with grip. Of course, if you're running around the outside, you're running the long way. You're not going to have a good lap time. So sooner or later, you have to start cutting these corners and making them as straight as you can.
And running fourth at the stripe was Chad Gilsinger in that yellow and black Honda S2000. Now he's trailing Mike Kramer. Kramer in that silver number 19 machine advanced from 7th to 2nd, now making his way back through after dropping far back as 9th. Kramer in the 2004 Saturn Ion now leading the yellow Honda through turn 5. Kramer's in 4th. Gilsinger now back to 5th.
Gilsinger should start getting quicker as this track dries more. I'm surprised it hasn't dried more than what we're seeing. It's still plenty wet out there. You're seeing spray off the tires.
Here's a good look at the lone Saturn Ion. Red line in the field. Working through some traffic here. 4th and 5th in frame now off the turn number 7.
Around.
Turn number 7 can be a bit tricky too. It looks so tabletop flat before you go down the hill into 8.
It's another one that entries off camera. The car doesn't want to make that corner. Once you get down on that, it's an important corner because that brake zone into 8 is one of the good passing areas here.
Through the carousel now, we see still mid-track. They're getting a bit lower in line
Gilsinger
here.
is anyway. He's starting to move toward the inside, which he needs to do. Once you can get some grip on that inside, you want to use it because you're shortening that corner a lot that way. And you see the guys experimenting, and they're just sneaking it in there a little bit each lap.
There's that flat-out Canada corner. I'm sorry, flat-out kink going into the Canada corner.
I don't think they're flat today yet, though.
No, but the kink itself, I would think just by hearing that throttle, that's exactly what I think I would do if I got a chance to race here. But you say in the dry, you go flat out through here.
Well, not all cars. Most cars can. It's a very deceiving corner because you can't see all the way through it, and you're turning into it at huge speed, particularly if you're flat out.
Canada corner
wheel
up
spin
through.
right there. I could hear off Gilsinger's car.
Turn 12, Billy Mitchell bend here.
That's where the spin happened by Pushkar a lap ago.
Right at the top of the hill here, which I would think
you lose grip there.
Yeah.
You've got the grip, artificial grip, because you're climbing the hill. Then you get to the crest of the hill, you lose that artificial grip, and if you've got too much speed on, around you go.
Looking at the number 19, Mike Kramer, the BF Goodrich Carbotech Vet Sport Redline Oil Saturn Ion. We'll check back in now on the position battle. That's Pushkar in third. Closing in on that Honda S2000. That's Rob Hines ahead of him. That's the battle for the silver and bronze.
He's still the fastest car on the racetrack, Pushkar I'm talking about. Chris is running 2:58.7. Everybody else in the 59s are 3-minute range, so he's still got the fast car, but he's got to be very careful not to make any more mistakes.
And Pushkar and Hines were racing about this gap with Hines following Pushkar as they made quicker circuits around this racetrack. In the dry, they got within 5 seconds, then 4 seconds of a race leader with Pushkar at the point.
Now, if I was Hines, I'd be paying a lot of attention to Pushkar and trying to figure out how is he going so much faster than I am? How has he got 2 seconds on me? And I'd be looking at where he's driving his race car, what line he's on, and I'd be trying to experiment and see if I couldn't get on that same kind of a pace.
Pushkar again has a unique line off of 7 down into turn 8. The hard left-hander, you mentioned hard braking into that corner before the carousel.
Well, he's going to get by these guys, there's no doubt. I mean, if they can't pick their speed up anymore, and he continues running at a 2 second per lap faster pace, we have 6 laps to go, or if we have 5 laps left to go, I think he's got enough time to get this done.
The gap from our race leader to this battle for second is 5.4 seconds. Hines and Pushkar, 2 and 3 here. The 44, the Nissan, is Hines leading. Pushkar in that Honda S2000 went a bit wider that time on exit of the carousel.
Got a good run off the carousel. Now he's going to be tucked right up in through the kink here. I think that pass is going to be made down into Canada corner more than likely.
Through the kink, this right-hander looks to be a 90-degree turn when you approach it. It is a corner that certainly helps you set up this run down to Canada corner.
Yeah, he's already maneuvering inside of the racetrack. Pushkar I'm talking about will probably get that pass as you see him come into frame here. He's working on it.
And that yellow car going out of frame is our leader. These guys are catching Kevin Fandozzi.
Yep. Like I said, for Rob Hines, he's got to look in the rearview mirror and say, how come I'm not as fast as this other car? I got to get going here. And they're both running down Kevin Fandozzi, who's leading this race and has led every lap.
Rob Hines, the Northeast Division champion, leading for the time being the 26th machine of Chris Pushkar, third in the Great Lakes Division this year.
Here we go through 14. He'll try to set up and get a better run up on the straightaway here. Moves to the inside immediately. And this should get the job done for second place.
Pushkar again spun, gave up second spot. Now he wants it back up the hill. 3,025-foot long straightaway with that big elevation jump to the start-finish line and into turn 1. Hines, however, powers past that Nissan for the time being. We'll see what they do entering turn 1 now.
Pushkar ducked back in. That was smart. He ducked back in, get the use of the draft, and now pops back to the inside. Not yet. He's working him over pretty good now. He's trying to get down the inside run for turn 3. Yellow up ahead. Yep. We have a safety car and a car off course.
Waving yellow and a car on driver's left. Does not affect the racing line here into turn 3 or the exit.
And all that yellow tells you is that that's a no passing zone. You can't make a pass there. Right there, Rob Hines slipped. Back into the car, stepped out. Pushkar saw it, but tucks back in to get the draft into turn 5. I think that pass will be made down in the brake zone here.
We shall see. That's Fandozzi, the race leader, the yellow number 34 machine. Here come the pair for second. Great battle here. Down into turn number 5. Heavy braking the slowest corner on the racetrack. And here comes Hines.
Pushkar wasn't there, and Hines has found the speed I was talking about.
Yep.
He's found that speed now. He's got the same pace as Pushkar does, and they're both running down Kevin Fandozzi.
Working lap 10 of 13.
Boy, they got to make up a lot of ground here. And looking at lap times, they all were real close. 59.8, 59.7, and a 58.2 for Pushkar, so he's being held up somewhat by Rob Hines.
Trying to find a way around as this is your top 3 in frame here. Here we go. Can he make it work this time in turn 8?
He's good. Down into 8, unless he slides on this slippery inside part of the racetrack. And he gets a little slide.
Oh, went right through the slippery stuff.
And that's going to force him to the inside of the carousel, which is not where you want to be. It's going to be loose on the inside. Watch for a slide.
Wow, just narrowly missing contact here. Hines might have had to burp the throttle just ever so slightly.
Well, he wanted to get to that outside as soon as he could. He was going to get there one way or another. Let's just put it that way, the inside slippery.
I'm coming, just a matter of when and where you
are.
are.
The car's going to go to the outside.
So Pushkar takes the second position over Rob Hines. Back to P2, but will he have enough time? He was closing in on race leader Kevin Fandozzi. Innocent spin at the top of what would be the run down to turn 14.
At 2 seconds a lap, he will catch him. Catching and passing is a whole different story.
We'll follow the gap for you here through Canada Corner. We see the difference there between second and third. Pushkar can now focus forward on his run to the leader.
Getting a little dry line there. You can see it on the racetrack. It's starting to dry up. And here's the gap. It's not that much of a gap, really.
Tom Wickersham has not had the best of days. He's ahead of the race leader. He'll be getting a lap, actually. He is our Super Sweep eligible driver by winning the National Points Championship. He has had 8 top 5 finishes this season in 8 events with 4 victories in his Honda S2000 out of San Ramon, California. Won the NORPAC division, won the National Points division. That's 2 of the qualifiers to be in eligibility for the SCCA sweep, the Super Sweep. He won one of the 9 Super Sweep events designated this year, and if he wins the runoffs, he gets the Super Sweep, but now he's getting passed by the leader, so that is all but impossible for that blue number 01 of Tom Wickersham.
The gap went from 5.3 seconds last lap to 3.8 for Chris Pushkar. He is caught up 2 seconds. If he continues on that pace, he will be at the bumper here in 2 laps.
And again, continuing to address the needs entering turn number 3 of a stalled vehicle. The caution lights are on just in that corner, local caution.
Just can't pass there. You don't have to slow down. I mean, it's an advisory to slow down, but there's no rule that says you have to slow down. There is a rule that says you cannot pass.
And Pushkar coming up now on Wickersham. We mentioned Wickersham, a great season thus far. Now splits the leaders a lap down as we're working lap 11 of 13 here.
Well, it's getting interesting now. Here comes Chris Pushkar down the hill, and he's got him in his sights, and that makes such a big difference mentally when you see the guy. When he's out there, it's like a carrot. Oh, little slide on the entry right there. Chris Pushkar trying really, really hard again. Remember, he had that spin earlier on. He's got to watch out for the same thing.
Up to the blind left-hander, turn 6.
He's skating that car pretty good right now around this racetrack.
Pushkar using every ounce of this 4-mile circuit in his Honda S2000. The Old Dominion Metal Hoosier Redline Oil Carbotech sponsor machine. 2 second-place finishes, 1 third this year. Not a victory in his division. Looking for a big win here in the biggest stage in amateur road racing.
Well, Kevin Fandozzi's looking in his rearview mirror. I guarantee you that. He knows that he's coming. And when you're in a situation like that, if you're Kevin Fandozzi, you just got to drive your own car. You just got to make sure you're getting all you can get out of it and don't make any mistake.
Watch his line through this carousel, Dorsey. Assess where he's maybe going to gain speed, or he got a lot of speed off the exit of the carousel to get in position to pass Hines a couple laps ago.
Well, he knows he doesn't want to go to that inside again like he got forced to last lap. You know, that outside line's got a lot of grip right now. The inside will just make you slide. Get your heart rate going, I'll tell you that.
Now, again, this is a darker portion. It's just because of all the beautiful shaded trees that make this such a beautiful scenic course.
That stays wet back there a long time for that very reason, because it doesn't get any sunlight, and that back part of the course will stay wet for the next hour or so. Here it comes. Chris Pushkar really gaining ground right now. It was at 3.8 seconds last lap. I guarantee you it's not that now.
Pushkar runs second. Ahead of him is the yellow car that has seen nothing but daylight ahead of him. Kevin Fandozzi has led each and every circuit. We're coming up to complete lap number 11, and here they come down the hill. That's right where Pushkar spun.
3 laps to go when they come up here this time, and it's going to be less than 2 seconds the way I'm looking at it.
Here we go, 2 to go this time by when they come up the hill.
Let's see what it clocks in at, but I can tell you it's close. It's going to be a lot closer than 3.8.
Now, little Chevy Cobalt SS, I say little, man, it's got a lot of horsepower.
Yeah, they do. They run good. They won a lot of pro championships with that car. All right, I'll let you know here in a second. 2.8 seconds, 1 second. So he didn't get as much of an advantage that time as he had the lap before, but still 1 second.
All eyes are focused with our SpeedcastTV.com cameras, as well as the audience here in attendance at the runoffs, on Chris Pushkar and his efforts to overcome a spin to gain back into second position and now close on the race leader.
And Chris Pushkar is going to have to find some magic on this lap, because at that last pace, he will not get the job done. He's going to have to do 2 seconds on this lap to have any chance of getting by on the final.
And give credit to Fandozzi as well. He's not been stopping his progress either and finding out how to get faster on this wet course.
I mean, no matter which way you look at this, Chris Pushkar is putting on a good show for us, but he's the driver that made the mistake. Kevin Fandozzi has made none so far.
And Fandozzi's wipers are off, which is a good sign, so the spray continues to be the only wet condition that we're worried about here. I think the rain has stopped now. It appears on most of the course. Our race leader again, the yellow machine. I mentioned the wipers. The wipers continue to roll. Perhaps it's a rhythm thing at some point. I mean, you've got that going on in front of you for 11 laps. It's something you get used to if you're amongst other cars as well.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily need him on, but he's probably too busy driving as hard as he is right now to even think about such things, you know?
Yep, very good point, Dorsey. And as we go into the carousel,
I don't see him gaining that much ground this lap.
I'm just waiting for the carousel because I think that's my prediction of where he's going to close the gap here.
Fandozzi, and I'm wondering really if Fandozzi, if Kevin has been holding back, he had a huge gap. I wonder if he was just not playing it safe and mirror driving more or less. He might have more speed left in that Cobalt SS than what we thought he had, because he has really stopped that forward aggression of Chris Pushkar. I don't think he's gained that much this lap. But
under
he is
2
good
laps remaining here. Here we go. Yep.
He's very fast on that carousel run with the S2000. Oh, yeah, he has made up some ground.
Wound up, down into the kink here. Officially turn 11, but it's always known as the kink. Here we go up into 12.
It's going to be a very interesting finish. He's coming on right now.
This is exciting. As the rain kind of put a dampening on the how are we going to start, how are we going to race, how many cars are going to be able to manage the wet, this has turned into a dandy.
Boy, getting to him and past him, that's what it's all about. I think he is going to finally get up to the back bumper this lap. But what Kevin Fandozzi does from there, I'm sure he's not going to just lay down.
They'll receive the signal this time by. 1 more lap remaining. This is the area running down to turn 14. That's 13 if you call it that. Into 14 here. For many years there was a bridge over that area. Now it's the Kohler Tunnel, and over that tunnel and down into 14 and safely through are our 2 race leaders. Here comes Chris Pushkar.
That white flag will get your adrenaline going too, and they're going to get it right here as they come by us at start-finish line. 1 lap to go for the national championship, and these guys have been racing hard.
This is our final lap of Touring 3 of the 48th running of the SCCA National Championship Runoffs at Road America. Brought to you in HD by Volkswagen for the first time this year on SpeedcastTV.com. This is our final laps, our final opportunity for Pushkar to get it done.
Plenty of spray down here still. Looks like they've got that car that was broke down out of the way. The course is clear. No yellow flag that lap.
And we know Fandozzi knows all about what's behind him here.
No doubt about that. He's known this was coming for a while. All he's got to do is run a real good, clean lap. Like I say, he might get caught from behind, but I don't think he's going to leave any open opportunity to the inside on the last lap of the national championship.
This would be where some drivers may take chances, but in this condition, it looks like Pushkar is not going to force the issue here in turn 5 to gain speed through the corner. Fandozzi will lead on exit and maintain the gap.
Well, Kevin Fandozzi has not altered anything. He's running the same exact line he's been running. He's got his car well under control. He has made no mistakes. And it's hard not to when you know there's a guy catching you real fast, but he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's driving his own race car to the level that he feels is the top efficiency for that car.
Kevin Fandozzi, the number 34 machine, 41 years of age, silver medalist 1 year ago in the Insight-driven Carbotech Hoosier Tire Chevy Cobalt SS out of the Philadelphia region.
And this is where Chris Pushkar is so good. This carousel gains him, and through the kink, a great deal of ground on Fandozzi.
This is it.
Got a good line around the outside of this corner. Car's working well. He gets a good run down into the kink, and he makes up a lot of speed. We'll see what happens.
Fandozzi leading now. It is shorten up the gap here.
Yeah, he's coming.
We're talking car lengths, not seconds now.
This is absolutely where Chris Pushkar is much faster. That's only going to get him to the bumper in Canada Corner, and I just hope they don't make contact because this has been a really good race. No, he's not close enough.
Awesome display of driving here. Kevin Fandozzi.
Oh, he makes the dive to the inside. He makes up a lot of ground in the brake zone, but he's got a shallow corner entry because of that. He's going to be slow coming off that corner.
Now he's got to gather back in and get momentum down into 14 so he can get close to even on the front stretch.
Gains a little bit here coming up through the uphill. Oh, this is going to come right up to the wire.
Down to 14 here.
He's going to run up the inside. He's going to try this. Takes a lot of ground. Now can he drag race? He's around the outside. It's going to be a drag race to start-finish line, no doubt about it.
One less wiggle might have made the difference. We'll see if that 2 wiggles is too many.
It is.
For Pushkar. Kevin Fandozzi, silver medalist a year ago, will capture the gold in Touring 3 in 2011.
Good race. Fandozzi, great job of driving, did everything he had to do, didn't succumb to the pressure. Chris Pushkar pushed quite hard, made the one mistake, and you saw right there, 2 little tail wags was all that she wrote.
Chris Pushkar comes home a valiant second. Rob Hines will capture the bronze medal.
Good Mike Kramer. Good run for him into 4th place from way back in his starting position in 7th.
He certainly had us on our toes here at the beginning of the race, going from 7th to 2nd, now settling into 4th at the finish. As the field continues to race around this 4-mile course in their final circuit in Touring 3.
And it's not over for these guys, still battling for their position. That's the great thing about the runoffs. I don't care what position you end up with, you earned it because you had to race somebody for it.
It's a shot at Mike Hines, the Mike Kramer, in the number 19 machine. Kramer won the Showroom Stock C gold in 2003. Certainly knows the tradition and honor that is. That appears to be the 87 of Bill Steinhoff, who is officially a lap down here to Kramer, running 4th to the finish line. As Kramer makes his way up the hill, he'll finish 4th. That's the difference that the leaders pull out in the wet conditions. Hines will get 3rd. There comes Kramer finally across the line. Now they'll begin their cool down lap.
You know, when you drive a rain race like that, or a partially rain race, if you want to call it that, a wet racetrack like that, even though it's only 13 laps and half hour, 40 minutes, you think you're out there for 2 hours because your concentration level is so enhanced to try to keep the car underneath you in these slippery conditions.
And I imagine the adrenaline takes you so far, but after this, I would think you're twice as tired after a rain race than you are a
mentally
dry race.
And, mentally, you're really, really straining yourself, and then your eyes too, with that mist and all that. You're really straining your eyes, trying to see past and through all that fog. And you definitely feel worn out after one of these.
Still under contest is the battle for 11th here. It's the 37 of Shane Daggett. The final few corners for Shane.
Still plenty wet out there. When we start this next race, these guys are going to have a pretty slippery racetrack too. But for the 37 car here trying to finish it out, Shane Daggett headed up for the last time towards start-finish line.
What a great run by Shane Daggett. His only other opportunity in the SCCA National Championships came off in 2004 in T1, where he finished 27th. So congrats for Shane Daggett for improving his position. And a great season capped off here at the Runoffs with a 11th place finish for Shane Daggett in that Ford Mustang. And a salute to the corner workers here by our race victor, Kevin Fandozzi, now making his way through the course on a warm down lap before he heads up to pit road.
Fantastic job of driving for that man today. In bad conditions, he just did everything right. We saw no wiggles, no bobbles, no mistakes, and under a lot of pressure through race out from 2nd place Chris Pushkar.
So Kevin Fandozzi will be happily taking the gold medal here in moments and take it back to St. Joseph, Michigan, where in the offseason he'll be preparing again. He raced in the Northeast Division. So we'll see if he gives his Great Lakes friends or perhaps incentive.
He's a snow driver.
Well, he missed pit entry. That's how excited he is. He's going up the hill one more time. He may come reverse track at the end of the pit wall. We'll see. There is our race winner, the gold medalist. Perhaps the wave back from the corner workers in 14 got him distracted as he came up the hill here. Well, he is the champion. Maybe an extra lap just in case.
First national championship. He's going to take the victory lap.
There you go. What a great drive by Fandozzi again, starting on the pole position. The drivers that qualified well with him, unfortunately, were not able to stick with him throughout the race. Brian Kleeman, Richard Fisher were dropped well back in the order. Chad Gilsinger back out of the top 3. Sage Marie, who had a great run last year.
He is taking a victory lap.
I guess he's going one more time around.
Yep, I thought he might duck in around the end of pit out there, but nope. He says, I just won a national championship, and I'm going to enjoy it. Where is pit in?
One more time through goes Kevin Fandozzi around this course in Touring 3. And boy, what a great drive. We mentioned how solid he was and how much of an effort he put forth. And as he makes his way back around the track for a second time around, he'll be talking to Biz when we come back from the short commercial timeout here on SpeedcastTV.com. Stick with us. We'll hear from the winner next in T3.
This portion of the 48th Annual SCCA National Championship Runoffs is being brought to you by Mazda, Zoom Zoom, by Volkswagen, Das Auto, by Blackmagic Car Care Products, and by Gumout, cleaning since 1945.
What do you drive? Is it inspiring? Was it built by a behemoth car maker? Or insightful craftsmen obsessing over the details, building better cars for a discerning few? Are you one of the few who care about what you drive and how it drives? We're with you because we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
Gumout Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner helps restore lost horsepower and fuel economy. Just pour an entire bottle of Gumout Regain into your tank before your next fill-up. Powerful cleaning additives attach themselves to fuel system carbon deposits and safely and effectively lift them away. That way, deposits burn up, then pass through the exhaust. Gumout Regain additives even leave a protective barrier to help keep new deposits from forming for up to 3,000 miles. Get a bottle of Gumout Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner today for reduced engine hesitation, surging and knocking, as well as restored fuel economy and lost horsepower, all within one fill-up.
Okay, it's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You treat the freeway on-ramp like your own personal racetrack, and you love the smell of burning rubber. Well, good news, Speed Junkie. The Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and 2,000 events across the country, the SCCA has all the wheel-spinning, engine-revving excitement you can handle. Want to dance on the edge of control? In SCCA Solo, you'll learn the blacktop two-step with an army of cones trying to trip you up. If slinging mud is your thing, check out SCCA Rallycross, where power slides and rooster tails are the name of the game. And if wheel-to-wheel competition is what you crave, SCCA Club Racing lets you chase the checkered flag on America's toughest racetracks. Join the Sports Car Club of America today and feed your obsession.
Road trip, buddy. Let's put some music on.
Welcome to Learning Spanish in the Car.
You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, this is good.
Vámonos.
Vámonos.
Gracias.
Gracias.
13 horas en el carro sin parar y no traes música. Mira, entra y cómprame unas papitas.
Get up to 795 miles per tank in the all-new Volkswagen Passat TDI Clean Diesel.
Welcome back to coverage and the conclusion of our Touring 3 event in the 2011 SCCA National Championship Runoffs at Road America on SpeedcastTV.com for the third straight year. I'm Jim Trader along with Dorsey Schrader. It's been a lot of fun watching how this track changed and how the drivers adapted, and indeed how the race leader was able to, from start to finish, maintain pace and capture the gold. We're going to be talking to our silver medalist, as I think Kevin Fandozzi is now stopped for lunch with one of the corner workers on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Little breakfast snack after. You don't want to eat before the race, so he's picking up one now. Let's check in with the man who put on the show for us, Biz, the silver medalist.
Well, a great show it was, you guys. I got to ask you, Chris. First of all, in the opening lap, so much spray. You went from a medium qualifying position at best, right towards the front. Tell us about that.
You know, it was really tough to see. The big thing I honestly have to owe it to are these Hoosier tires. They were just unbelievable. But the biggest difficulty at first, when everybody was in a big pack, was just seeing. So actually on the first lap, I was extremely cautious, and I don't know how many people I passed. I don't know if people were off the track or what. I couldn't see. So
when did you choose the intermediate tire rather than the slicks? Some people went on the slicks. That's definitely the right choice you made.
Yeah, just before the race, maybe 10 minutes before the race, we had about 4 minutes, got them on, and I got up here just as they called the 5 minute for the grid. So it was definitely the right call. Normally I make the wrong call, but this is the right call this time.
And if you would have had another 2 laps?
Well, if I wouldn't have messed up in 11 or 13, a few laps before that, I would have had it.
I've seen the check.
I definitely had a better shot at it.
Congratulations on that silver. We're going to move actually down to our bronze medalist. The winner was taking an extra lap after the event, actually. Sorry. Rob, my gosh, you certainly had the intermediate tire on, which was the right choice. Second place, running strong, and then you saw all that push from behind.
Yeah, Chris was coming. He was coming fast, and actually, that's my old car. I had it on the pole in Topeka one year, so that kind of hurts to get beat by my old car. But he did a great job. They're good friends of ours, and couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Well, congratulations on a great, steady bronze medal drive. And were you sorry you sold that car?
Well, I was when it went past me. But I got to thank a couple of my supporters here: Nissan, Goodyear, Carbotech, Redline Oil. Thanks a lot.
Well, congratulations to them and to you on a great drive in the wet. Okay, back to the front. I believe we have our winner now. He was celebrating so much that he actually took an extra lap, which is well deserved. We can hear the celebration starting without us. Kevin, let's give all the good hugging. Anybody else for a hug? Oh hell, Kevin.
Yeah.
Give me a hug. All right, my gosh.
I'll finally show you, Michael.
Well, Bonnie's going to give you your gold medal here.
Thanks, Bonnie.
And Kevin, my gosh, I mean, that wet condition, you were out there on a slick tire, or mostly a slick tire. Stay right here, buddy. Where are you going? Come on, stay right here. We're trying to get you into the sun and look good. All right. Tell us about your drive. A lot of pressure from behind towards the closing laps, but you also had to stay focused all throughout the event.
Right. There's some great drivers out there. Chris Pushkar really put the pressure on me, forced me to make some mistakes. But these Hoosier tires, even in this, were predictable. I mean, I really thought if I could stay on the track and let my power get me there, it worked. And I'm just surprised it didn't dry out nearly as much as I thought it would.
Well, there's no wind whatsoever, but how about the front-wheel drive? That had to be a significant advantage.
Well,
maybe not.
Well, when you see somebody closing on you, you wonder. It's just, it was so slick out there, Michael, that I couldn't get any grip. And by the time I did, it was already in a straightaway, and I just managed it the best I could.
Well, you did a great job of managing all throughout the race. Congratulations on your gold medal.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, the sun's out down here. Let's hope it stays.
Biz, thanks so much. And Kevin Fandozzi, do you think they'll give him another lap?
I know.
Or he'll just say, here's the checkered, go to the victory stand, please. You've already got your lap of honor, but that's a tradition here. That is certainly worth savoring for Kevin Fandozzi. Tradition is to get back in that car with checkered flag in hand, and any crew members that want to go with and go around the track one more time before they make their victory presentations on the podium. And this morning, Jerry Winarka, Area 2 Director, Chairman of the Board for the SCCA, is going to be presenting the trophies to our T3 top 3 finishers. And looking forward to this celebration as Rob Hines celebrates his run to third. Chris Pushkar, the story, to second, and the gold medal to the man you just heard from, Kevin Fandozzi, here in Touring 3. 2011 SCCA National Championship runoffs at Road America are in the books for the Touring 3 category. Kevin Fandozzi's silver a year ago has now found gold here in the runoffs.